Hey guys, so we did do something together. So you're
Got a little
watching,
collab going on.
yeah, so you're watching Guersan Gaming and
Mike at midnight.
together
So
talking about, as you see on your screen, SummerSlam.
we're gonna run down the card, talk about our predictions,
Yep.
see what we got because we can't really do we can't fight each other in champions or anything like that.
Yeah,
We all know who would win if we had to.
it's pretty hard to play a game at the same time when there's no active one-on-one in a game. So
Uh,
so we're not
no,
going to
no,
be actually
I'm pretty
gaming.
sure my 3 star bronze, one full star Seth Rollins could definitely take your silver stars. No problems. No problems.
We could do a Mark Henry fight.
Damn, Mark Henry. Oh, all right. If I'm a little more unadvertiser friendly than normal, don't freak out. I may drop an F bomb or two. Who knows? I'm
Oh,
feeling a little randy.
I may not drop one. Who knows?
Okay, so running down the SummerSlam card, and I guess we should probably start where everybody's actually concerned. The Cruiserweight title match. Obviously, everyone cares about the Cruiserweight title match.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Used to.
watch Raw, and keep in mind, we're recording this on Tuesday, right in the middle, dab middle of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Smack dab in the middle of SmackDown.
So it may be outdated by the time you watch this.
Exactly. They might have added a couple of matches. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So Tozawa won the title from Neville. Tozawa is currently the current cruiserweight champion.
I did not see that one coming.
And I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I really was glad.
Yeah.
I
was hoping he would win at the pay-per-view.
So, and I was too. It's like nothing against Neville. I love Neville as a heel. I love Neville as champion, but we need to see somebody carry the belt for a little while on the opposite side.
Yeah, tired of those ears.
It probably helps his balance to hit that damn red arrow, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's been switched to Tozawa defending against Neville, and more than likely it's going to be on the pre-show, unfortunately. But Max, what do you think? Who do you think's winning?
I think Tozawa's going to win. I mean, it would be a pretty stupid move to take it away right away. That'd be totally like discarding anything he has achieved and pretty much put him as a jobber. Like, give him a title right away and take it away less than a week after. That guy's never going to be taken seriously after that.
Exactly.
And they're trying to push Titus worldwide as well. So that's a good way to at least have a belt on that team.
And that's agreed. My only worry is I have seen the WWE pull stuff like that before. I'm worried that they could pull out the whole shoulder injury issue or even have Titus turn on him, which would be awful. Do not do that for the love of God.
No,
please.
no. Especially when you're trying to push his group. Like, I mean,
exactly. They need another member.
That guy just like, I didn't care about Titus before he started doing the Titus worldwide.
He's actually not a bad mic'sman. You know,
he kind of reminds me of Terry Crews, and I love Terry Crews.
He's got a very good manager presence about him, and I think Tozawa needs this. He needs it. What my brain just blanked out. What's Titus? Titus needs it. Tozawa needs it, and Neville doesn't need it. Neville can take another loss. It's not going to hurt him.
Yep.
I'm going with Tozawa on that one.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So next, I guess the other big change was Raw Women's Title.
Yeah.
Bayley is out.
Yeah.
Bayley is shoulder injury.
Yep.
They had 2 matches the week before to determine, and Sasha pulled out the victory here against Nia Jax.
Yep.
So it's going to be Sasha and Alexa Bliss. Thoughts?
By pure logic, I'll go with Alexa's going to win because Sasha is a last-minute thought.
I could agree with that if they didn't, again, have so much A, faith in Sasha, but B, Sasha's a 4-time women's champion.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me in the least if she actually did pull it off.
Yeah, they could use my reverse logic, and everyone's gonna think that Alexa's gonna win because Sasha wasn't in the match, so we're gonna make Sasha win because that's not what people expect. So they may go that way.
Also, I've got this bad feeling. Whoa, sorry. I got this bad feeling that it could also end in some sort of no contest when Nia comes out and just destroys everyone.
Yeah.
You know, Nia's mad about Sasha. Nia's not too thrilled with Alexa. You know, I could see Nia coming out and just disrupting the whole
I hope
match,
that
too.
Nia won the match against Sasha just because I wanted to see it break with Alexa. Because I mean, they never really explored on screen the. I mean, why wasn't Alexa pissed that Nia could even win that match? I mean, would she be happy to be knocked over by her? I mean,
I don't know.
she's 5'2". There's no way she had any expectation to win against Nia.
The women's title division, especially when they do these like pair ups, like it'll be interesting to see where they eventually go with Lana and Tamina too. When they do these pair ups, it's hard to say sometimes how they're going to turn out. You know, I expected a payoff from the Nia Jax storyline with Bliss a long while back, and it never really occurred. You know.
Yeah, I mean Nia's as large as Alexa's tall, so
exactly. Not that Nia's never been beaten by somebody smaller. Obviously, Nia's fallen to Bailey, Nia's fallen to Sasha, Nia's fallen to Asuka.
Yeah, they don't have the choice to make her lose. I mean, even when it defies logic, they got to make her lose. Or no, I mean, she's never gonna have a career because everyone's gonna expect her to win every match.
So I will say this though: if they're gonna bring Asuka up soon, they need to put the belt on Nia because Nia is going to be the only real challenge at this point. Asuka's going to destroy everybody. You know, you got to have the monster to slay, and then Asuka's going to run over the damn division.
But they could tone her down to put her at the same level at the other there.
You know what? I don't see it happening. I see her like doubling Goldberg's record at this point.
She's pretty great. I'm actually wondering why the hell she's not up yet. I'm guessing it's because they want to keep her record up because I don't remember what was the amount of match, but I think she's coming up to beating some kind of NXT record. She's pretty short to it. So it doesn't make sense to keep her there.
She's already beaten the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. She's already beaten, I think currently she is the longest reigning champion in the WWE currently, period. She's beaten Goldberg's undefeated streak. Like even his fake undefeated streak.
They're gonna make her lose on her first match on Raw.
No, they will not do that. No, actually, more than likely, what they should do is do what they did with Paige and strip her of the belt when she finally comes up and not have her lose at all. But with Asuka, it's I think part of the reason she's down in NXT is mostly to carry the women's division there.
Yeah, because there isn't much there.
They brought up Alexa and Nia and Bailey and everybody else who was carrying the division at the time. So now it's like, all right, well, who's in the women's division in NXT? Well, you got Asuka, and then you got Ember Moon, and then you got Peyton Royce, Billie Kay.
I can't stand Ember Moon.
It becomes these names that nobody's heard of.
She's like bad. I tried real hard, but like I can't stand Ember Moon. There's just something about her acting that sucks. She's not believable in that role.
Well, I will say that
like her wrestling's great, but like her persona sucks.
And that's why she's in NXT too. You got to work on that stuff. You know, some people have to work on that.
Yeah, she'll get repackaged when they call her up.
I could see that. I would like to hope not. And actually, I think she would probably strive better on SmackDown than she would on Raw.
Yeah.
But we have definitely gone way off topic here. I'm going with Bliss.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I could see them doing Sasha, but I'm going with Bliss on this one. That's what I'm going to say. So I'm going Bliss. But again, do not rule out a no contest.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're on the topic of the women, let's head over to the SmackDown Women's title. Naomi versus Natalya. Now, this one's a little weird.
Yeah, well, I don't like Natalya. Again, probably because of her acting chops. She's not really believable, but logic tells me Naomi's going to win it. I think she's killing it.
I think so too.
She's performing well. Her wrestling is awesome. The crowd love her. The entrance is just one of the best there is.
It is.
With the neon colors and the black light and everything. She's kind of the whole package. I mean, she's really, really doing a great job. She's probably like my second favorite on the SmackDown brand after Becky Lynch.
She's excellent. The question is, are they going to have Carmella cash in for that big moment? You know,
if that's the point, then I'd be fine, because if you're to take out the title from Naomi, anyone but her, please.
No, and that's the thing is, like, again, I've never had an issue with Natalia's wrestling or anything like that. Natalia's a solid technician. Obviously,
It's her character that's just there's just like nothing special. Even her her look, like they all have like there's one color per girl for the hair, like they all have a different color, and that one's like a mix and match of the other one. That there's nothing special about her character. And her acting's kind of boring. Her wrestling's excellent, but
yeah,
it's really her gimmick that sucks.
I think Natalya may be, again, I think it's a red herring kind of deal. I think they're just throwing her a bone, giving her a match, and then where this is going to eventually is going to become a Naomi Carmella thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. I'm saying Naomi retains, but Carmella cashes in.
Yeah.
I know it's a big gamble there, but I'm saying I'm going to throw my chips down. Carmella's cashing in.
You see, I'm going to go the other way around. I think Naomi's going to lose to Natalya, and Carmella's going to cash in and take it right away.
Okay. All right. We'll see how that goes.
If not, Naomi wins, retain it, and they keep the briefcase.
No, John Cena comes in and takes the briefcase away. John Cena recognize what? Ah!
He's gonna give it as a wedding gift to his wife.
Don't worry, I bought like 17 rings. They're all in this case here.
They're $30 on eBay.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about let's get one more stupid one out of the way here. Enzo, Cass, Big Show, the Shark Cage. This is dumb. This is just dumb.
I don't see how the Shark thing can actually have a play in this. And logic being, and with previous interview out of characters that Big Show did, where he's pretty much only putting over people now and they're pushing Big Cass, I don't see how Big Cass can't win this. I mean, they gotta be pushing for him. I mean, if he loses to Big Show, I mean, scrap that push. I mean, just get rid of him.
Now, this one's going to be weird because there's been a lot of rumors going on. I don't know if you read the rumor mill too much. Enzo's got tons of backstage heat.
Yeah, Enzo is having a pretty bad.
They're talking about possibly sending him over to 205 Live or NXT.
Yeah, Enzo's done. The moment they destroyed that tag team, I mean, he was done. He's not a wrestler to begin with. He was just recently trained as a wrestler. He's just a charisma guy, but that can only go so far. What's his purpose now? He has none. So he gets destroyed by anyone that's bigger than him. Everyone's bigger than him.
Exactly, except for the 205 Live guys, which would actually make sense. And they could definitely use a showman like him. Here's the other rumor I was hearing, though, and this is a recent one, that what they might do is have Enzo throw Cass some sort of weapon from the Shark Cage and reunite them as a heel tag team.
That'd be cool.
What do you think about that? I don't know if they could get heat at this point.
Yeah, well, I don't think they could. And also, I wouldn't see the point of doing it that way because that's not how you're going to push Cass. They broke them off to begin with to push Cass as a contender and single competitor. So if you put them back, you just admit that Cass fails without Enzo to do the mic work.
And I think, unfortunately, they're realizing that's part of it. Nothing against Cass, but Cass never had enough time in NXT to develop his mic game. He always had Enzo to fall back on the mic game, as where in exchange, Enzo had Cass to fall back on the in-ring work.
Yeah, my main problem with Cass is I see him kind of like Brock Lesnar. You back away, you do the picture. I mean, he's a tall guy, he's a big guy, and he's not that muscular. And he has, just like Brock Lesnar, a real baby face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good thing he has a beard, because, I mean, you'd think he's a kid. That he got a real baby face, and that's really not working in his favor. It's the same with Brock Lesnar. I don't know why he never had a beard, because he really has a baby face.
He should have kept the beard because he had the beard when he was doing UFC. He should have
Yeah,
kept the beard. I don't know why he never kept the beard.
yeah, because that's like if I'd shave, I'd look like a baby.
Oh well, I
That's why I
mean,
never do.
I use trimmers, keep it at an eighth of an inch, just because it keeps the 5 o'clock shadow. Because the same deal. You know, I
Yeah,
get carded if I go in and buy a
that and
body.
it hides my double chin. Double purpose.
So, um, I I don't know. It's hard to call this one because if they do the turn, then obviously Cass is going to win.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't
I
see the
think Cass is
purpose of
going to win
making Big
anyway.
Show win. He's
I
done.
think part of the whole setup for the hand thing was to make it seem less. I don't know. I just feel like Cass is going to win this thing. Period.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Whether it's with a screw up or clean, he's gonna win. That's for sure. There would be no point whatsoever in making Big Show win. He's done as a competitor. He's taking like he's done in a couple months. Like he's retiring anyway. So there's no point giving him anything. It would just take away from Enzo, not Enzo, but Cass, who's on his way up, at least in their mind. So
I think
Cass gonna win either way.
I think this is a bit of a symbolic passing of the torch kind of deal. You know, one giant to the next giant.
Yeah.
You know, Cass has got to win this thing.
Kind of like Cena did with Nakamura.
Exactly.
Like, there you go, it's your turn.
So, all right. Next, as far as tall guys who are in matches that don't make any sense, Cena and Corbin.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We have those on the roster, and we gotta make them do something.
Exactly. It's like, well, we got John for ratings. We got Corbin who's Money in the Bank. I mean, I guess it'll work.
Yeah.
First off, I will say this. I don't like the fact that they changed Corbin's music. I had no problem with Corbin's current theme. It was fine. There was no reason to change his theme. He didn't need a new theme. Yeah. His theme worked for him.
Yeah.
Why change it? Like, if you went like a completely stylistic change, fine. But it's like, it's still a heavy metal song. It doesn't make any sense.
The license expired.
Well, damn, get that band back then, because they're doing some of the better themes, okay?
Yeah, probably license thing.
No,
he was in talk with Corey Taylor from Slipknot for a new team.
So, oh, dude, that would be awesome.
That would be pretty good. The Slipknot's one of my favorite bands.
Exactly. And Corey's a fan. There would be no problems. So
he was probably charging too much.
It's always record labels that's the problem. Yeah. So they're the jerks who make these deals and rules and everything.
They want to sell WWE the album 2017, so they got to make fresh teams.
I'm going with Cena because if Corbin, I doubt it because I'm going with the women on the Money in the Bank cash in. But if Corbin cashed in, then it only makes sense for him to lose to Cena because that's usually how we do with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We usually go on a string of losses before we get that big victory. So
I also think he's going to lose it.
And then cash it.
Yeah. I also think he's going to lose it. And by being pissed off, he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's going to be an edge situation.
And Cena, I mean, he's got a pretty big ego. I mean, he just pushed Nakamura. Don't ask him to lose too many matches. He's not done yet.
You know what? I had this really weird bad thought though. And again, we haven't watched SmackDown. We don't know what's going to happen on the pre-show or anything, but I've got this really bad thought and I want you to follow me on this one. I could see this happening. I could see John challenging Corbin for the briefcase. Corbin being stupid, accepting, losing to John. John wins the briefcase. Nakamura wins the title. John cashes in on Nakamura.
Yeah, that could. Although with all the talks of Cena switching to Raw,
touche.
I don't think he's going to do something like that because of that.
I hope you're right because again, that's not a rumor mill. That's just a theory.
I could see that happening, but with someone else than Cena. Like being like he's gonna lose this match. He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna try to cash it in, and like there's gonna be some random dude popping up on the jumbotron and challenging him. No man, where I'm gonna challenge you for the contract first, and then you cash it in, or like some. I could see something like that happening.
Yeah, no, I totally could.
Like Kevin Owens, or I don't know.
So yeah, obviously Cena, you're on this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? So now so let's go over to let's knock out our other singles matches that have no real stakes on them. Here's my bathroom break. Orton and Rusev. This is where I'm going to be grilling burgers.
Yeah,
that's
that's one of those I don't give a shit about either. I'd probably go with Orton by the simple logic he lost his last pay-per-view match.
Yes, and at this point, Rusev is just going to become a jobber.
He's getting buried. Yeah,
so he's going to lose to people of a higher caliber.
They took Lana out of him. Now he doesn't have anything.
He's just going to be that upper mid card guy at this point. He'll start winning matches after this.
Yep.
But he needs to lose to the big guys first, you know.
Yep.
You know, he'll start taking out our heroes like Ty Dillinger and Sami Zayn and guys like them, you know.
Yeah. Definitely one guy that's not on the rise. So I'd go Orton just for that. That's going to be a boring match.
Yeah, no.
There's definitely. If at least they should have put in some kind of gimmick on it, but I mean Orton just been in a gimmick match, but they should have had something because there's
no.
You make it. It's recent match also.
Extreme Rules, hardcore, anything. Honestly, if you threw some weapons into this, it would be interesting.
Yeah, or at least make it like a no DQ.
Exactly, maybe. Just something.
Just throw us a bone or something.
I'll tell you right now, Orton's actually far more entertaining when he has complete freedom to do whatever the hell he wants. So,
ironically, they could have made it like a buried alive match.
So, oh god, yeah, no, they're not going to pull that out. It turns out burying people alive is not very PG. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of non-PG things, of course, again, we're going with Orton on this one. It's obvious Orton. Speaking of non-PG things, Wyatt versus Balor. Mommy, what was the red stuff that he poured on him? What was that, Mom?
Yeah, it definitely didn't have the consistency of blood.
But obviously, I believe it was meant to be something. I just can't tell what, right?
You know, actually, when I saw it, I knew it was coming because he had the damn, the word is, I don't have the word, but you knew it was coming because he had it in his hand for about 2 minutes before he actually threw on it.
The bucket.
The bucket, that's the word I was searching for.
And unless he's the boogeyman all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's not filled with worms.
Yeah, but I was like, when he threw it at him, the first thing that came to my mind was not, oh my god, he poured in blood. It's, damn, poor workers. They got to clean that shit up before the next match. I was like, why do they should have done it outside or I wasn't thinking about anything that was happening. Just the fact that they just threw shit on the ring and someone else got to wrestle there in 5 minutes. Who the fuck is going to clean it up? And is it going to be good enough for them to wrestle on that shit? I wasn't thinking about anything else that was going on. Totally out of the story.
Veteran of the Attitude Era and everything going.
Yeah.
I thought this shit was done when I had to clean up Gangrel's blood. All right, damn it. So obviously they set up for a Demon versus Bray. After their match on Raw, this definitely has the potential to steal the show.
Yeah,
I will say that. Finn usually performs at a higher level when he is the Demon. You know. Yeah. Bray is one of those guys that he's capable of actually putting on a really good match when paired with the right people. I mean, all you have to do is go look at Royal Rumble 2014, his match with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
it's awesome. You know, I think this is a show stealer, especially since Bray won. Though, unfortunately, I feel it's kind of obvious that the Demon's going to win.
Yeah, I think. So. I mean, I see it could be it really depends. If they have something on the back of their mind, if they have something planned for Bray, then maybe. But it kind of looks like a last minute match. There's no real stake on either side. There's no real purpose for the storyline other than they're pissed at each other. There's no real storyline. Could go either way.
If you truly wanted to swerve us in any way, shape, or form, you know, go balls out. You know, bring Harper, bring Rowan, bring the club. You know, really surprise us. But unless they're going to do that, I see Finn winning this.
Yeah, I think Finn's is also going to win it. That's one I'm not too sure. Just because there is so nothing for this match that there
like
could be something we're not seeing coming.
Exactly.
Because there's just not meat. There's no meat to that matchup. There's no purpose.
They gave away half of it on Raw. They gave us a really good match on Raw.
I gotta think that there's something we're missing that may be involved in here, but otherwise, Wyatt just won, so it's Demon's time.
Yeah. Going with Demon on that one. All right, and where are we now? Let's knock out our SmackDown and Raw tag team title matches. Let's start with the SmackDown ones. Because they've been pretty set and the storyline's been really good. New Days versus the Usos.
Two groups I can stand.
And I will say this. Their in-ring work is good.
Yeah.
They gel pretty well.
Yeah.
Their gimmicks, I will say this about the Usos. I do love their day one-ish penitentiary thug gimmick.
Yeah.
It works way better than the whole dancing Samoan war cry Sons of Rikishi.
I don't like the new gimmick. It's just too much of already seen.
I will say this: I will say this: they in the change of gimmick, they've definitely stepped up their mic skills.
Yeah,
they have definitely come out and blown us away on the microphone. It's like one of those things where you don't expect them to be that good on the mic because they never had an opportunity to be that good on the mic.
My main issue with that matchup is they have zero chemistry between the two groups.
So, as far as the storyline goes, yeah, it's still kind of
And it's been going on too long.
It's as far as the in-ring work, I will say this: the battleground match was excellent. I'm hoping this one lives up too.
Yeah.
I've got a real feeling that they again are gonna put on a great match like they always do because they are all. Short of maybe Big E, and no offense to Big E, but it's just Big E's style with the Usos may not gel as well as the other two. But they have yet to show me a bad match between them.
I'm sure the match is going to be good. It's really purely story-wise.
Yeah.
It's been going on too long.
Whatever. It's like,
too long of a storyline and not interesting enough. It's like the what's the fashion file shit. I mean, kill that shit, man. It's been going on too long and it's boring.
I will tell you this right now. I don't care. I love the fashion files.
I can't stand that segment.
It's because Fandango, I'm good with. I've got no problems with him. But Tyler was one of those guys I watched in NXT, and I didn't want him to get wasted, and he totally got wasted once he got brought up. Yeah. So I'm to the point where it's like anything that gives him any modicum of TV time, go with it.
That's the only thing they do with them. They don't even wrestle.
I'm hoping it will eventually do something because those two are actually they're really good wrestlers. The problem is when you get stuck wrestling a comedy style, you get stuck wrestling a comedy style. And when you have zero credibility, you end up like the Ascension. The poor Ascension needs to go back to NXT. Okay, they do. Yeah. The poor guys.
They're boring.
They were the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions. They were dominant. They were brutal. They were awesome. I was so excited when they came up, and then you just destroyed them.
Yep.
Destroyed them. I was like, you guys have no idea what you're doing with good talent. You guys suck. So,
yeah. But I mean, one thing that they don't have going for them is that they're pretty much regular looking. Like they don't have a visually striking gimmick.
Yeah.
They just look like a lot of shit we've seen.
And that was the thing. In NXT, they were able to make them look amazing. They were able to. NXT takes a very ECW, old school ECW philosophy on things. Hide the negatives, accentuate the positives. Okay, I've got two guys here who Connor is a little mediocre in the ring. Rick can wrestle, but Rick is a smaller dude. How do we make this? And they made them look dominant badasses.
Yeah.
Then they brought him up to the main roster where you have a completely different creative team working with things, and they went, feed them to the damn New Age Outlaws.
Yeah. Yeah, they totally killed them right now.
So, I will say that New Day is going to retain. They have too much invested in the New Day, unfortunately. They're going to retain. I think New Day is unfortunately going to go another long reign before somebody's able to finally topple them.
Yeah, well, they don't really have any non-boring tag team on SmackDown.
Well, hell, they just broke up one of the best ones they had. So,
Yeah.
on to the Raw tag team titles. The Bar. Anybody unaware who the Bar is? That is Sheamus and Cesaro, or Cesaro, versus Ambrose and Rollins, 2/3 of the Shield, who finally touched tips the other night.
I think it's pretty clear they're gonna win.
I don't know yet.
They're gonna lose and turn on each other right away.
Exactly. Like I said, I would not have a problem if Ambrose and Rollins won the titles, but I've got this bad feeling that they're gonna do some sort of fake out bump. Somebody's gonna throw a kick that goes wrong, and they're gonna, what happened? What happened?
You know what? Ambrose and Rollins are gonna win because Roman Reigns gonna come in. He's gonna come in and make them win and reform the 3-man Shield.
Oh my god, yeah, like they're gonna walk to the back and almost be counted out. Roman's just gonna walk out, stand there, and go.
I mean, it's fine that they're putting them with each other, but they keep mentioning the Shield and the Shield and the Shield. It's not really the Shield if it's only 2/3 of the Shield.
Well,
so why do you keep using that name?
The overall plan was to eventually completely reunite them, but now I think they're trying to backpedal because they're losing Brock. I think Brock possibly leaving, and we'll get to that in a moment. But Brock possibly leaving now is throwing some wrenches in the plan, because obviously they were going to build to Roman and Brock at WrestleMania. Well, it's one of those things where people are like, well, Brock's got a contract, everything. I'm like, yeah, and Brock's a freaking multimillionaire, all right? If he wanted to pay off whatever fees to get out of the damn contract, he could, and because he would make all that money back and more going over to UFC. All he'd have to do is just wait out his damn suspension, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, also, it's also a weird move to put them back as a tag team, because you really want to use Rollins as a tag team guy? Not a main event guy anymore?
And that's the problem, is right now our main event is filled with, he got his spot usurped.
Yeah.
In the process, he did, by Braun and by Joe.
Yeah. Joe doesn't make sense in the main event picture.
Braun and Joe have done way better than anybody expected them to do.
Yeah.
So...
Braun is rightfully there. Joe, I'm not a big fan. But now you got guys like Rollins who are being buried as tag team when he should be in main event. I mean, may as well bring Roman Reigns with him and have like Braun versus Joe for 2 months.
Now, keep in mind, it's not unprecedented to have the main eventers in the tag team scene.
Yeah, sure.
I.e., Austin and Michaels, Michaels and Diesel,
Rock and
Austin
Sock.
and Mankind. You know, it happens. Hell, Cena and Michaels, you know?
Yeah.
As long as Rollins and Ambrose do not stay in the tag team division forever, you know, This is a brief thing. They have a crazy run with the belts, and then they break up with each other and feud again. That's fine. Do not demote them, you know?
I mean, they could be having them as a team just to set up a match between each other in 2 months.
Exactly. Ambrose definitely needs something after the Miz feud, too, because the Miz is great with certain people. He was not great with Ambrose. So, like, the Miz could go all day long with freaking Ziggler, but Ambrose?
Well, he's supposed to have like a match, a pre-match, the Miz. Like the Miz and the Miz Tourage against the Hardys and Jason Jordan.
In
the pre-show or something like that.
Hasn't been added yet. Yeah. So if that does happen, it happens.
That's one of the rumored early matches.
Final editions.
That nobody's going to watch.
The thing will be 16, matches long and go for 7 years.
Yeah. The pre-show is going to be at 3 p.m.
Pre-show starting at 11 a.m. What time does the pay-per-view start? 7 p.m. What? How long does that go? 7 days.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with an Ambrose and Rollins on this one, despite my better instincts. Yeah. I'm gonna go with an Ambrose and Rollins on this one.
Me too.
I'm predicting that they go about a month, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Most.
I think they're gonna win, but not hold it for too long. Indeed, the skirts had their run. It's time to change.
So, and hey, I will say this: do not get me wrong, dude. Sheamus and Cesaro, this is the most interesting I've ever seen Sheamus ever. Period. All right.
Yeah, me too.
They have super gelled as a tag team.
Great chemistry for two boring guys on their own that works really well together. They
And
they
poor
could call
Cesaro.
them Headbangers 2.0 with the look they're giving him.
I feel bad for Cesaro because Cesaro is one of those guys who like tore it up on the indies, and he just could not connect. And that's the thing, he connected with the audience. He just could not get over with management and be the face, that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I don't ever know why. It's like I the poor guy, I don't know why. So I'm happy he's in this spot, and I kind of hope they keep him in this spot for a little while
Yeah,
because
that's one way for him to remain on the air. Pretty
up
much the only
until
way to remain on the air.
I will say this, up until they bring Cassius Ono up to the main roster and then reunite the Kings of Wrestling. So for any of you indie fans, that's a big one. All right. That's Ring of Honor style. That's a big deal. So, okay. So moving on to our top guys. Top guys. U.S. title match. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon, special referee. This is a feud that has irritated me because you shouldn't be able to screw this up. If you let these two guys work the way they should, you should not be able to screw this up. And they have.
Yeah, and I think that AJ Styles is going to lose because Shane McMahon's going to turn heel.
That's an interesting theory. I don't know. I will say that they are definitely adding some prestige to the belt. I feel like the U.S. title is actually the primary title on the show at this point, and that is really, truly, unfortunately, a knock against Jinder Mahal. He has not carried the WWE Championship it feels like they should be switched, right? Yeah. That Jinder should be U.S. champion, and that feud should have the WWE title. It feels off, but like, their first match was a count-out victory, The second match, we gave it away at Madison Square Garden, the title change. Then we have the next match, and it's the Kevin regains the belt in that weird double pin combo deal that felt really weird. You thought they were gonna reverse it.
Yeah.
And then we have, in a triple threat match, AJ win the title back. It's like, it feels like they can't figure out how they want to book this thing.
Yeah, they moved it too much.
Letting them have crazy awesome matches.
Yeah. I wish AJ's would win, but I think Owens is gonna win because they're gonna do something with it. Because right now they got pretty much Shane and also Daniel Bryan doing the good guys. Usually when they have two guys in charge like they are, there's a good guy and a bad guy, not two good guys. And
True.
Shane is always great at being hated. So that's probably going to be his heel turn, helping Kevin Owens. That's the way I see this. Because they already gave us too many of this. They got to do something that they haven't done. And having Shane in there, I mean, if he's not to screw this up, what's his purpose there? What's he going to do? Watch them?
It's a good point. Yeah, I feel like obviously Shane has to have some sort of impact on this match because of the match. I will say this. Shane is the only McMahon I can stand. I think Shane is the only McMahon anybody can stand at this point. I mean, that's the thing, is back in the day, people used to hate Shane, and then Shane gained a lot of respect from people to the point where he was the beloved one.
Yeah.
So to turn him heel would be an interesting concept. It becomes that whole, would it work? Because again, like Enzo, can he get heat at this point? Am I keeping you?
No.
Okay, sorry.
I thought my wife. No, it's I got a notification on my phone and I thought it was my wife. Too lazy to walk down to talk to me, just sending me a message.
Why is Soundhound sending me stuff? I don't know. No, I was like, because I don't know if your girl's there or anything like that. I didn't want to bother you.
She's sleeping.
So, but I will say this. No, I think AJ is going to retain.
I think that's the first one we don't think the same.
I think AJ's. I think Shane's going to try to screw AJ, and it's not going to work out. Or
that could also happen.
We could have little, I mean, I'm not saying anything. Maybe Triple H runs in and helps Kevin again. I don't know. That's the thing. Is like this one's always up in the air because, again, they want to go a long-term feud with this one, but they keep giving us these weak matches and these matches with stipulations, and they won't give us a solid ending, and they won't give us the match because we know these two are capable of having the match.
I mean, Owen's a great wrestler, and he's a local guy from here, but I never really enjoy any of his matches.
So
I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's again one of those cases of just boring gimmicks or what, but I can't. I really rarely ever enjoys his match.
Kevin, I don't want to say Kevin's one of the guys who needs to be paired with anybody. Kevin is definitely capable of carrying a match, but Kevin has a very different style. Kevin's very technical, but Kevin mixes a very technical and power style. So a lot of lifts, a lot of, but the thing is, it's always the beauty of him is Kevin is like a modern day Bam Bam Bigelow. He pulls out moves, you obviously see the power aspect and the power game and the technicality, but then he pulls out moves you don't expect him to, like, freaking swantons and jumping moonsaults. And you're like,
it's like the bastard child of Bam Bam and Bret Hart.
Exactly. I will say this: if you ever truly want to enjoy a Kevin Owens match, there are a couple you do need to see. Obviously, his one with John Cena, where he beat Cena clean, and even the ones after that were pretty good too. I can't remember which pay-per-view it was. And then there's the Battleground pay-per-view with Sami Zayn.
Yeah, well, that's another. Sami Zayn's another one. Exactly comes from my city. Gimmick. That's just boring.
No, and Sammy, that's the thing, because Sammy and Kevin, really are best friends in real life. They came up together and everything. Yeah. They know, like Shawn in Triple H, like some of those guys, they know what the other can take. They know what the other can do, and they usually end up putting on really awesome matches too. I will say, and Kevin's mic work. I'm sorry, I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan. All right, I love Kevin. I don't find him, like, I will say his stuff with Jericho was freaking amazing. It shouldn't have been as good as it was, and it was awesome. Come on, the Festival of Friendship, his straight man to Jericho's ridiculousness sold that. The creation of Kevin.
Well, Jericho is great at making pretty much any feud work because he's just great with a mic.
And Kevin, and that's the thing is, like, at the very end of the Festival of Friendship, where Jericho had that kind of almost real moment where he's like, Kevin, working with you has been some of the best moments I've had on this run and everything. It's like you almost feel that was completely real, because I think he really did enjoy working with Kevin, because Kevin is, a consummate professional kind of deal. He will do the job when necessary. He will, do what's necessary of him, but he's also, a good guy on top of that. You don't ever hear dick stories about Kevin Owens backstage. It's always nice because you hear
heard anything
how
bad.
Brock's a jerk. You hear how Randy's a dick. You hear like Randy took a shit in somebody's bag one time. You don't hear those stories with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, just like you never hear anything good about Bradshaw.
Exactly. Oh God. I will say that. Thank God they were able to come to an agreement with Morrow and use him on NXT. So. All right, 2 more to go. WWE Championship match, Nakamura and Shinsuke.
And Jinder.
That's how bad this match is. And because duh. It's going to be Shinsuke. Okay.
It's got to be
Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship.
Like Jinder, he's got a good gimmick. He's not bad with a mic. Can hold his own on a match, but it's just the fact that they're kind of like just force feeding down or throat that guy for the simple reason that WWE is big in India, and we need a local, because he's Canadian anyway, but we want to fake a local guy just to make that half of our fans really happy. So he doesn't belong in that picture.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm sure he can be down the line, but he's too force-fed to us.
Exactly.
Like he doesn't. he doesn't have any like credibility as a champion, especially with the two goofs with him.
Yeah, like it's like okay, what he was in 3MB. Joke. They never won any belts. He never won a belt. The best thing he ever did was get to the finals of the NXT title tournament, which he ended up getting beat by Seth.
I thought you were going to say the best thing he ever did was steroids, so now he became popular with McMahon.
I do not condone the use of steroids in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, they should do with him like Jericho did with
steroids real quick.
Yeah, they should do with they should have a segment with Jericho where he does with him like he did back in the Attitude Era with Stephanie McMahon's boobs with a before and after look, but with Jinder's muscles. Before and after steroids.
That's what it.
Because a year ago he was half the size.
So
I mean, he took a lot in a short time.
Put pictures of these. Put Jinder now, and my pants now. It's like just.
I mean, he went big fast.
No, Jinder's all right on the mic. Definitely get that heel heat that he needs. Again, we're just running.
I can't see him ever being a face.
We're running the xenophobic angle again, which, hey, right now, these xenophobia angles are not going to run all that great anymore after everything that happened recently. Our president kind of saying being vague about some things and stuff. It's going to be weird. But, no, obviously, if Shinsuke doesn't win this, they've screwed up.
Yeah.
And if Shinsuke does not win this, they need to get Baron out there right the hell now. He cannot be carrying this belt any longer. He's not doing anything with it. He's not that great. Like you said, in the ring, he's average.
Yeah.
He's a solid worker. Everybody has always said he's a solid worker, but he hasn't yet to show me anything that I've been, oh my gosh.
He doesn't have that wow star potential.
Exactly. Even his finisher. Hell, what's his name? Ted DiBiase did it better, It's like when there's about 3 or 4 other people who do your finisher better than you do.
Yeah, and Shinsuke is just seriously on the way up.
Exactly. He's going to kill it.
I'm guessing they're probably going to have Shinsuke versus Corbin for next pay-per-view, like with the Money in the Bank
I will say this right now. If we are not setting up Shinsuke versus AJ for the world title at WrestleMania, we are doing something wrong, okay? You saw Money in the Bank. You saw the reaction those two got. I've watched their Wrestle Kingdom match. Those two need to be main eventing WrestleMania. Period. All right? That's how you do it. I mean, that's one of those things where it goes, this is how you print money. Don't screw this up.
Yeah. I mean, the Shinsuke versus Cena match was awesome.
Exactly.
That was a great match, and
that's
not
because
because
I always have this philosophy that there are people who can carry and people who need to be carried. And John does not need to be carried, but John can be carried. If John's paired with the right people, you get awesome matches out of John. When John is paired with the wrong people, you get mediocre to average matches because John has to carry and John's not great at carrying.
Yeah.
So that was the thing is like, if we're going to get this kind of caliber out of a match between those two now, imagine what you get when you put AJ against Nakamura, Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen what happens. Now imagine that in a stadium.
Yeah. I got a feeling that this match against Jinder is going to be one of the most boring that Shinsuke did.
Possibly. I will say this, no offense to Joe because I do love Joe, but I felt like Shinsuke and Joe meshed in NXT on a storyline level, but as a match level, their matches were good. They weren't anything great. They were good matches, but their rivalry was better just because they could both, there is a charisma aspect to them that Joe can actually talk and that Joe was coming through as a destroyer, in every sense of the word. I think it helped both credibility, unfortunately, that in one match, Shinsuke actually dislocated Joe's jaw with the damn
He's good at injuring people with his style. Almost made a paraplegic out of Cena.
Exactly. Yeah, we heard backstage that Vince was a little pissed about that, but it's like Cena wasn't, and if Cena's not, what do you care? You know?
Well, for all we know, Cena was pretty pissed once they went back.
No. I will say that most people did say that Cena had no problems with it. I mean, if Cena was pissed,
he seemed generally fine with it in the ring. Like
Cena is a businessman at heart. You know, he's kind of like Lesnar. He's a little more loyal to the WWE aspect, but he knows, you know, okay, that didn't kill me. You did good. Don't apologize. It needed to happen. It was a good match. You know?
He knows his career is coming to an end in a couple of years, and he wants the WWE push to try to make it to the big screen like Rock. So he wants to make sure he has all the friends in the right places.
Exactly. And, you know, he probably sat there and went, you know, dude, honestly, that probably just legitimized you. You know, you almost broke me. Hey, you know, the last guy, you know, it really helped legitimize when it broke something of mine. Seth, when he broke my nose, you know? No, John, I will give John that. John is pretty good at laying down when he needs to. The only problem is it's Vince who sits there and goes, no, now you need to win the next 2 matches.
Yeah.
Like when he lost to AJ Cleed at SummerSlam, it was awesome. When Cena won the belt from AJ at the Royal Rumble, we were all sitting there going, well, obviously Vince did that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we're going with Nakamura.
Yep.
And I say if Jinder retains, Corbin's coming out.
For sure.
All right. Last but not least, the
and
final.
You see, Jinder could actually retain because Corbin doesn't wait for the end of the match to come collect.
That could be interesting. We could have another Seth Rollins on our hands. Make it a triple threat. Baron hits it.
Like they're gonna watch backstage, and if the match is too boring, they're gonna send Corbin and go spice it up. They're just too boring.
I could see that, but my only worry about that is because there's absolutely no situation where nobody comes out looking not weak in that. Yeah. It's like you can't have Corbin pin Jinder to win the belt because then Jinder looks weak. You save Nakamura, but you can't have him not. I mean, it becomes nobody wins in that situation. Yeah. You know, nobody's gonna come off looking strong.
And I mean, it's not a no DQ, so they can't really have anyone run in with. I mean, well, they could, but you know, they'd be pushing it.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I don't think it's going to be an interesting match. I think Nakamura will save it, but we'll see where it goes.
I mean, maybe they're gonna make it like Jinder, like wins because the two goons interfere or something like that.
And that's the thing. I could see that.
I don't. If Jinder wins, it's not through a clean pin.
Exactly. But and the other thing is though, this is their summer WrestleMania too, and I will say this though. For the next match, you're right. There could be a retainment. I'm going with Nakamura, but because of the next match, which might actually have a title change, they might hold off on that one. And that, my friend, is the final one. Fatal 4-way, Universal title.
Too many title and too many people in the title match to begin with.
Well, too many of the same type of people. That's, I think, the problem. Is you got a lot of big, heavy bruisers. This is going to be a brawl. This is not
a powerhouse match.
This is exactly. This is not going to be for you, Ring of Honor.
And they threw in the technicians.
This is going to be fist and more fisting and just so much fist in the face.
Yeah. That's another one. They should break the ring.
Hey, well, we're at the end of the night at that point. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You're telling me that should be how it ends. That should be how it ends.
They're all too big to fit in the same ring.
Exactly. You take. They get Braun up on the top. You get Joe and Reigns going for the double superplex, and then you get Lesnar underneath them to do the power bomb, and all of them come down.
They're just gonna break the ring, and then each of them is gonna take a post, and they're gonna fight with swords with the posts.
I would pay so much money to see that. I would just Braun Strowman posting people. Yeah.
I'm telling you that they're gonna take 2 sets of stairs, and they're gonna run at each other with sets of stairs.
I think that's why this match is actually going to be kind of fun.
I'm sure it's going to
I
be
hate to admit
entertaining
that.
because they're going to do a lot of
I hate to admit that, but I think this
big,
match will.
visually impactful moves.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna get a lot of suplexes.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get a lot of we're gonna get Samoa Joe
Slams.
almost choking somebody out. You know, Braun's probably gonna throw some furniture at somebody.
They're for sure they're going to break like the announcer's table by now.
So,
At least the Spanish guys.
exactly. Those poor Spanish guys. Probably the Germans too. Right there too. No, let's see. On this one, what they probably got the SmackDown table down there. No, this is a joint one. So what? They're all going to be on the floor. None of them are going to be up on the stage. So yeah, they'll have both Raw, SmackDown, and the Spanish announce team, and then the Germans will probably be with the other guys. So, because the Germans are always ringside lately, right? Weird, a little weird, right?
They're training them.
Um,
Is their NXT experience?
I want Joe to win.
I want Braun to win. I think Braun.
I'm okay with Braun winning.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't want Roman to win, and I want Brock gone.
The only reason I would see Roman win is if he's in some part gonna be connecting with the Shield, and they're trying to really push the faction with championships. Other than that, I don't see a logical reason to give him the belt yet, and I'd go with Braun.
Now, I will say this. Again, theory. Nothing solid. I got nothing to back this up. But like you said, say Ambrose and Rollins win the belts, and then they come out later and help Roman win the belt and kind of heel Shield reunite. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I would be okay with that.
But after everything they've put to bring Ambrose and Rollins together, it's really a face reunion they did so far. So to already undo it and switch them heels would be too fast.
But it would also be the brilliant turn because you sit there and think, oh, we're going to get this nice happy face reunion. Oh my God, they all just went heel. We have to boo all of them now. It's perfect. Yeah. Unfortunately, in your process, that makes Braun your face. Yeah. Which would also be weird.
But I mean, none of the guys in the title fits as face anyway.
Exactly. Roman is the only real face in it.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a face.
No, he's not at this point. When you walk into any place, and I mean any place, and get booed out the place, like he walks into his house and just what? I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
Right, boo.
Yeah, and I'm not really getting any vibe from Joe, so I'm not gonna go for him. But the logical choice for me would be Braun for that. I mean, he's been having a lot of big matches. They're really pushing him to be a big guy, one of the next top guys for the company. Seems about time to give him the title.
I would not mind that. I will say that. Braun, usually, and everybody who knows me knows I'm a very cruiserweight, technical, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk style wrestler, fan. I liked Shawn Michaels, I was never a Hulk Hogan fan. I was never an Ultimate Warrior guy. I was not big on the big roids and, we know 3 moves kind of guys. But I will say this, Braun has won me over. Yeah. I'm not usually a big fan of guys like that, but he has definitely won me over.
And it's not a guy with a lot of mic skills, but he's working what he got.
Exactly.
And it fits like it's clearly not a talented mic guy, but the way he's doing it, I mean, the way he groans, or I don't really know how to explain it, but I mean,
that scream at the
whatever they're selling, I'm buying.
Exactly.
So he's working what he's got pretty good.
I think he's also definitely benefiting from a circumstance deal. He's the right guy at the right time because the guy they were trying to push is the fans are not having it at all, and it just happens to be, well, this is the crowd reaction. It's kind of an Austin thing. It's like at the time he was the right guy at the right place at the right time, and Braun is riding that train right now. I would not mind him winning the belt. I would like Joe to win, but I've also as a prediction, I've got this bad feeling that Roman's going to walk away with it. And I don't think it's going to be because of any Shield trickery. I think it's going to be because he's the big dog and it's my yard now, and stuff like that.
But they have too many main eventer on the rise to already give Roman the belt back. He just had it for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
If they want to continue to have more, because I definitely see Raw as a lot more main eventers than SmackDown. So and there's a lot of them on the building, on the rise up. I mean, so I think they're gonna give it to. If it's not Braun, it's maybe because they want to have Lesnar holding it a little longer because he's not yet ready to leave. So maybe they're gonna keep it there. But I don't think Joe or who's the other one? Who's the fourth guy?
Braun, Joe, Lesnar, Roman.
All right, okay, I'm lost.
It's okay. I was gonna say I love how we like absolutely not even considering possibly Brock winning. We're just like we're pretty convinced that Brock's leaving.
Yeah, well, the only way I see him winning is if they're just not ready to let him go yet.
Exactly. I will say this: a theory again, because I have these, is that what they could do is, like you mentioned, we could have Roman win the belt. We could have Brock leaves. We have Joe and Braun go at each other on the next pay-per-view for number one contendership while John jumps over and challenges Roman for the belt at the next pay-per-view and puts Roman over on his way out the door again for a sabbatical.
Yeah. Well, I keep hearing that they won John Cena and Roman at WrestleMania.
Ooh, that's not
far.
Gonna sell it. That's not going to put butts in the seats.
Yeah, no. It could be not the main event though.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But like, I mean, if Lesnar's not gonna leave now, they don't really have the choice to have him retain the belt, because otherwise, how do you spin this? He's supposed to leave if he doesn't win.
Yeah.
How do you spin that he's not leaving?
No, I've got a feeling that he might be leaving, just because it's the only thing that makes sense at this point. Otherwise they wouldn't have done the whole. That's the thing. It's like they've gotten to a point where anytime they say, if I lose this match, I have to leave the WWE. If I lose this match, I have to leave the brand. They usually end up leaving. You know,
because I mean his match is over 6 months away. Like it's like 8 or 9 months away, because he's still suspended for half a year. I mean, it's not like he can't train while being in the WWE. I mean, he wrestled once a month.
I'm getting tired of the Universal Champion showing up on our show once every 3 months for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
It's like, listen, I know we're a product of the Attitude Era, but, and I agree that, constant title changes should not be a thing, but hey, an occasional world title match on Raw would be nice,
Yeah.
We used to do that back in the day, We used to have fighting champions who would put it up no matter what.
They would rarely win it, but at least it'd be on the line.
It was that hope. You sat there, you suspended your belief even further than you already are because you're watching pro wrestling.
The only surprise we get shouldn't be the Cruiserweight Championship.
Exactly. You get to this point where you like look back at half the title changes after the Attitude Era and that happened on like TV, and you sit there and go, okay, well, what's the story behind that one? And then you look up, oh, somebody got suspended. Somebody got, like hell, what was it? When Rob Van Dam won the WWE Championship, the only reason he lost in a triple threat to Edge on Raw was because he got suspended and had to serve out a 30-day suspension.
Yeah.
So he lost the WWE Championship one night, lost the ECW Championship the next night. We were just like, what happened? Oh, okay, no.
Wellness program.
I believe at that time, he and Sabu got pulled over and had drug paraphernalia in their car. I think they got busted with a bong or something like that. So, but yeah, so I'm going with Joe. You've got
going with Braun.
And by the end of this thing, I think my prediction is that I am going to be very sleepy.
Gonna be a long pay-per-view. Don't even know if I'll be able to watch it all live or if I'll be watching a part after. I'll know I'll be starting it late.
I will say this. I took the day off for that one. So I'm going to watch it live. and then I'm actually going to stream that night. And then I've got my normal weekend, my Monday, Tuesday off too. So I get to sleep in.
Yeah, my main issue is that I'll be working in the morning after, and also my wife can't stand wrestling. So
Oh, see, I will say that I am fortunate in the fact that my girlfriend is not like, she's not a fan in the fact that she'll like sit there and watch it. But for the most part, she doesn't mind listening to it. She knows who the people are. She follows most of the storylines and
yeah,
stuff like that. So, and we'll
mine
make jokes and we'll laugh about it.
mine thinks it's totally ridiculous and for losers. And she pretty much
Sorry,
thinks the
dude.
same about YouTube and streaming. So
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
we're
I
like
have the
polar
exact
opposite on all
So,
this shit. So that's why when she's up, I can't do shit on YouTube.
I understand that. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, no, my that's one of my favorite things is in on Raw because the Revival, they were supposed to have a SummerSlam match with the Hardys, but of course Scott Dawson hurt his bicep. He's going to be out for a little while. Poor the Revival, man. Those guys they are hands down the best damn tag team, and they cannot get going on the damn main roster.
Yeah,
They keep
well,
getting
I
injured.
find their gimmick pretty boring.
Again, it's a purist aspect, and again, it's an NXT thing.
Yeah. They're good
You got
wrestlers. I just have zero
yeah.
interest in their gimmick. Like they
Oh,
would kind of need to be repackaged or something.
I mean, because that's all they are is just they're an old school throwback to like the Brainbusters and the Minnesota Wrecking Crew and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They are literally the definition of old school.
yeah, because
So
they're at an age where you kind of need to have a certain look to stand out, and they kind of have the look like when you play a wrestling game and you use the default. Like you just, I don't want to customize my appearance. I just use the default. They both look like that.
I heard a joke one time that like the authors of Pain and NXT, they look like what happens when you try to put Roman Reigns' costume on Brodus Clay and create a wrestler.
Yeah. So they
Oh
just
no.
look too average,
I
both
will say
in their
anybody
general
watching
look
this,
and
anybody who doubts
attire.
the Revival, go watch the 2 out of 3 Falls Toronto NXT match. My God, it's still my favorite match of last year. It was amazing. But for the I had a point here, but the Revival's their theme song. It goes, "Say yeah." So when I'm watching, she'll just when it says that, she'll go, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you just do that?" She goes, "Yes." I'm like, "I love you." Or when Cassius Ohno in NXT, because his theme song starts with, he goes, "Oh no," she goes, "Oh no." She's like little things like that.
Yeah.
I feel fortunate. I feel blessed. That I found somebody who doesn't despise the things I'm into. I mean,
Well,
hey, it's all about compromise. I don't sit there and make her watch Star Wars. you know.
yeah. Well, I thought the compromising part was always on the guy side. We learn
Hey,
to compromise. They learn to ask for it.
oh man, hey, dude, I've already been through one divorce. All right, I learned how to pick my spots and figure stuff out after that. So,
Yeah. We've been together for like 17 and a half years. So I
dude,
I I
bravo.
I learned how to like pick your battles,
Exactly.
which
No,
basically is
definitely.
don't
Like I said,
don't have any, and you're fine.
we've been together for about 7 years, and when we finally get out of California, that's when we're finally going to get married and everything. So, because I feel like, oh well, this lasted over double my last relationship. I think we're safe. I think we're probably pretty good.
Yeah. Well, our trick is basically like we both have really different interests.
hmm
So the way to everything works is just let the other do whatever the hell they want to do. You want to play
Exactly.
that game? I'll
Exactly.
play my game on the other room. I don't care.
Exactly.
I want to
Dude.
stream. Well,
Sometimes
I'll stream when you sleep. That's fine.
exactly. Sometimes that's all it is. As long as you don't, as
We
long as you
don't
don't miss
prevent
out
the other
on.
one from doing whatever the hell they want.
Exactly. As long as you have that other time together too,
Yeah, that's fine.
there's nothing wrong with that, dude. You got it, man. You're living the dream, buddy. All right, so guys, I hope you all enjoyed this. If this goes over well, we'll definitely start doing these on a more regular basis.
Yeah,
I had fun. Jay, did you have fun?
yeah, it was pretty cool. Wasn't fun to set up, but once it did, it was great.
I am so sorry about that, man. Again, I was hoping
Took us like an hour to get it working.
You know what? I think we did pretty good as far as the turnaround goes.
Yeah.
All right, we started emailing each other less than a week ago. So
Yeah, we actually started talking about it yesterday as far as specifics.
Exactly. This is where we got this set up in less than 24 hours. I think you're awesome.
I thought we set it up 2 days ago before I saw that it was stuck in my draft. And I never sent the email.
It's like, why isn't that douche texting me back? What the hell? I don't know.
I was checking. Like, I get like about 10, 20 emails a day from subscribers and stuff. And I was going through it. I was like, what the hell? There's a 1 on draft. The fuck is in my draft? Oh shit! I never sent that.
Well, you know what? I think we did pretty good. So I think we did pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, how do you want to sign this off? I mean, I guess I'll
click stop,
like, share, subscribe. You know, the regular.
Yeah.
Don't forget to click the bells. Click his bell too. Click both of our bells.
Yeah, double bells.
If you're watching this on mine, go watch it on his too. If you're watching his, go watch it on mine too.
Yeah, right? And then compare if we really did upload the same video.
Exactly. I might not be wearing pants.
Yeah. You wouldn't know if I wear pants. I already don't wear sleeves.
Guys, he's not wearing pants. He stood up, all right? It was not good.
Not wearing underpants either.
Don't worry. He saw my room after this fell over, so it's not much better.
Yeah, I'm filming on the only wall I got that's not full of crap.
All right, guys. So, I don't know what a full sign off here would be. So, but if you enjoyed this, subscribe to Mike at Midnight. Also, go over to Guersan's Gaming and subscribe to him. And if you'd like to...
Yeah, if you don't do likes on my video and on his video, that means nobody of you guys liked it. So we might not do this again. So if you did, like my video, like his video, right? And share it to all your friends.
Exactly.
So we'll know you guys like this.
We got to know you love this, all right?
Because you got to think, when we do this, we're not doing the other stuff we do. So we got to know you guys like this.
All right.
We might add some people if it works. Depends if we can actually make that work, because only doing it with 2 was already hard to set up.
We will. Once we master this, we will definitely work some more people in. But Max, I had a great time. Thank you, dude.
That was pretty fun.
Good luck. Let's go watch SmackDown. Let's go see how outdated this is now.
Yeah, let's check how many mails we got during those 2 hours of people waiting for us to stream.
All right, and enjoy SummerSlam, bud. All right.
Yeah.
I'll catch you. You'll catch me. We'll catch each other. Everybody, peace.
See ya, guys. Hope you enjoy this. Ciao.
All right, guys. Out.